So hey guys, let's talk about variables today. So what is exactly variable? Variable is nothing but it's the name given to our data. Our data can be in any format. It can be like integer or character or anything. So whatever name we are giving to our that data is called a variable. So for in this example, we have character. Character is our data type. Text, it's the variable. And this is our data where we are storing s. You can also say like a variable is used for storing the data. So in this particular name, we are storing this value s. So whenever we will try to access s, we would just call text. So this is the way this is the way of defining a variable. So before defining a variable, we should clarify which type of data it's gonna store. So for that, data type is necessary. It is must to define a data type before declaring a variable. So now we will talk about the declaration of variable and initialization. So if we do not assign this value, if we just write the character, text and then semicolon. Wait, I'll write it. So if we just write, so this part is called the declaration. Here we are declaring and this is called the initialization. So in the declaration part, our variable will have a default value. We studied in the data types that the default value for character is 0 only. So in this case, in the declaration, our variable will have a default value and that's 0. But in the initialization, it will store our data. So this is the difference between the declaration and initialization. So now we'll talk about what exactly happens when we are writing this particular syntax. So when we are writing this syntax, so our variables take some space in the memory and that space depends on the size of our data type. So for example, character takes 2 bytes. So it means that our variable gonna take space of 2 bytes in the memory. So it would take 2 bytes of space in memory. Byte takes only 1 byte, so it will take 1 byte of space in the memory. Now float. We all know that float takes 4 bytes. So again it's gonna take the 4 bytes of memory in, 4 byte of space in memory. So I hope you got this memory part. And this all will happen during the execution of program. So when we run a program, our program or you can say compiler will check that we have a data type and variable of type float or char. So it will take space of 2 byte in the memory and our data will get stored in that particular space. So this is how everything happens in our program when we are running a program. So you might get some questions about the variables. So let's just see some questions. First one is the declaration of variable. So when we declare a variable, it contains a default value. In the initialization part, we assign the data that we want to store in that particular variable. And the question is, can we change the value of variable? So when we are running a program, for example, we assigned a value 5 to our byte. And later we want to change this to 25, the square of 5. So yeah, we can do it. We can change the value of any variable. And which data type to use? So it depends on our need. If we want to store character, we will use cal. If we want to store integer, we will use int and so on. Depending on our need, how long our data is. Is it fine to use byte or not? Is it fine to use long? So whatever, it depends on our requirements. So now we will see all these things in our IDE. Let's go on the VS Code. So now I created a file named variables.java and I'll write a code that is for defining a variable. I'll just declare the variable and I won't assign any number to it. And I'll try to print this variable. So let's just see what happens in that case. So you can see that we got an error. The local variable my num may not have been initialized. So let's just try to initialize this variable. We will give the value as 10. Now let's try to run it. So we got our output as 10. Now let's try another value here. So now we will store 2147483 and 647. So if you remember this number, it's the largest value that we can store in our integer. So let's just try to run this. Okay, so we got our output. But now let's just make it 1 greater than this. And again, we are getting some error, we can see here only, but let's run it. So here, the literal this of n type is out of range. So we can't take this particular value because it went out of range. Now let's try some another variable types. So just remove it, make it 7. Next take float, and this is equals to 2.56. Oh, sorry, I forgot to give the variable. Okay, then double, then we can take character also, and it's already existing, so boolean. So now we will write all of these. Let's just copy paste it. Okay, and we will change its type. So here we will take F. Again here we will take D. Then here we will print our character type. And here let's print the boolean type. Now let's run it. So we got our value here. You can see that this is the float, this is the double type, this is our character and true, and this is our integer value. That's the maximum value it can store. If we exceed more than this, then obviously there's going to be some error. So that's all for the variables. Keep on practicing and get to know about some errors about it, get to know about more stuff. So that's all.